Now, go ahead.
I'm here with Saul Singer. Thank you very much for coming to speak with us at the New Media Team, and we'd like to just ask you some questions about your book, Startup Nation. And it was spoken about yesterday at the panel for the Battle of the Narrative. And I wanted to ask you, how do you think your book either fits in or doesn't fit in, or really talks about Israel's image?
Well, the importance of the book, as I see it, is in terms of how people look at Israel, is that it's the first significant book that looks at Israel as a country, not as a conflict. And it's really getting beyond the debate, the argument, the whole issue of narratives in some ways, and looking at what Israel has accomplished in the area of technology, which is not just about technology, it's about innovation, it's about how do you create a culture that produces innovation. And this is something that's relevant to anybody, whether you care about Israel or not, whether you're Jewish or not, whether you've ever even heard of Israel or not. And that's what's interesting about it. And I think that's why the book has been successful, because it's not just about Israel, it's not just about the conflict, it's about something that everybody's concerned with right now, which is how do you innovate, particularly as we're trying to reboot the global economy.
Absolutely. And I guess, what have you seen good feedback in that sense? Are college campuses talking about the book? Have you heard feedback from younger people, older people about, wow, we're finally doing something great, moving away from that narrative talk?
Well, as Dan and I have been going around the United States and other places, Israel too, I've been speaking here, and the typical reaction is just, it's very refreshing to look at Israel in a different way. People are very excited about this different way of looking at things. And we're also excited by the international reaction. For instance, the book is a bestseller now in Singapore in English. There's a Chinese edition coming out. They're working on other language editions. We just got word that there is a Hebrew edition coming out. And I'm very much looking forward to that, because I think Israelis actually have a lot to learn from this book. Even though it's all familiar to them in a major way, I think it puts it together in a way that they may not have seen, just because they take a lot of these things that we talked about for granted, and they don't realize how this combination of innovation and entrepreneurship together is so powerful and has created so many startups.
Completely agree. And last question, do you have a favorite startup?
Oh, no, we talk about a lot of startups in the book. We talk, there's a lot of great stories, like about fraud sciences being bought by PayPal, about Given Imaging, of course, and Hillcam, and about how Intel Israel basically saved the world, Intel, and it was exciting to hear from the head of Intel here at the conference. It's actually, the book is really a bunch of stories. We tried to tell the story with stories. So there's no end to great stories about Israel, particularly in the whole tech area.
Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to the next edition.
Thank you.
Shake hands.